Okay, let's see what we can do with this. This is something we've done heaps of. Okay. This one should be a no-brainer enlargement, or should I say reduction-wise. And make a reversal. I wonder what colour we're going to add to this one. Don't know what colour. Going magenta. Going to cool it down. Okay, let's see how this one turns out. Right, what have we got? Plenty of these I've done. What have we got here? Mossman Daily. I've got a gut feeling this is going to turn like a magenta colour. So I'm wondering if we're going to change that from magenta into a different colour. I think magenta's not going to go with the picture. Oh, fuck off. I don't want that. Stupid user interface. So I'm actually thinking cyan, that'll end up being on the face. Green on the face. So I'm wondering if maybe the happy colour, yellow, can be used. I've got an insect crawling on my fucking screen. Sorry, folks. Hope it doesn't damage this fucking photocopier. Stupid, I hate insects in my unit. So this is what we're photocopying. So I hate it when I get insects in my unit. I don't like it. Stupid. But that's what happens, you get that. Okay. I don't know where that insect got to. I hope it didn't get in underneath the edge of that screen. Hopefully it won't cause any damage. Anyway, let's see how... Enough about the insect. We'll just see how we've done with our demo. Actually, that looks quite interesting. It's not the greatest. Just wondering. You can't see much of the screen. Not screen, the grass. Or is that the grass? That's a difficult one. I wonder if we're going to do a different one. So... maybe it's too contrasty. So I'm wondering if we're just going to keep the contrast in the middle. Anyway, let's see if we can do that again. See if we can make an even better version. So this is him again. I'm going to put him upside down this time and see what happens. Right, let's see if this change of gearing has improved this. Let's see if I've made a better movement out of it. Yeah, that in some ways looks better. You can see it's a bit more, it's less contrasty, but you can see there's a bit more life in the colours. It still looks nice, this one. And the magenta looks a bit more darker. It's not perfect. I'm wondering where the centre of this is going to be. I'm thinking that's going to be the centre. So now we're just going to switch, while we're at it, switch to copied paper. We're just going to consign this to the recycle. I don't read that drivel. So let's see how we go with this. But yeah, I don't read papers very often, or magazines. I've got no time or desiring to. I just don't feel like I can even relate to the stuff that they put in, especially these magazines or these types of local papers that talk about snooty stuff. And I don't want to be doing snooty things like reading papers and shit like that. I've got no time to sit and read magazines and shit like that. It's just not my cup of tea, folks. So I'm wondering with the hue if we're going to just stick it in the middle. I just don't have any interest in that sort of shit. I do read things on my phone. I do read some stuff. I do have some screen time, but I prefer to use the screen rather than the papers. But don't get me wrong, I'm still for paper because one day I'll be designing a better photocopier. I'm not interested in eliminating paper from our systems. We still need paper, and most people prefer paper. Paper is something people can relate to, and so I may not be interested in reading papers myself, but I can appreciate you folk out there love the feel of the paper. Maybe one day we'll be printing them on our photocopiers. Who knows? But basically, I do believe paper should stay in the system. It's something you can use. Like when the power goes down and the batteries run flat, what can you trust? You can trust paper. All you have to do is to go outside and read it outside. If you've got the lights indoors or out, you just go outside if you're in an office and read it. So things should be backed up on paper. You can't rely on data these days. It's too unreliable. It's always good to have a good old-fashioned backup, and paper is it. And it's much better. It's easy to delete things and lose things. So I'm not interested in eliminating paper and turning all newspapers into online stuff. But I online is good for me because it's easy to have it all on me, and I've got a fairly reliable connection. So I don't know, although at home sometimes my internet does go down, but on the phone I seem to have a very reliable internet provider. But when the internet provider lets you down, or whatever, you can rely on paper to come through, and you can read it as long as you've got a light source like the sun. You can read it. So yeah, we need paper and online. We use both, folks. Although our photocopiers that we're going to build are going to be just photocopiers. They're not going to be printers or faxes or scanners. So I'm putting all my eggs into the one basket. Other people can design the other stuff. But anyway, that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call this one quits.